This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's go. Touch 50, touch 50.
Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. Past the 20. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. And this is no good as well. He's missed twice now, and that's the difference in this ball game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not a particularly good return here, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports.
Ready, set.
A reminder coming up here at halftime, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray 1st, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they look pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skilled players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning. And he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington. But they love the big arm of this guy. And he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
Go to 54, go to 54, line. Mike 50, Mike 50, Mike 50. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Mike 50.
They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. A first down carry by Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. 10th carry now for Elliott. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. Prescott now. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down.
Mike's 5-4. Hey, watch the slant. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Prescott to throw on 4th. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get in the field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Set the tone, defense. Hey, alert. Check out.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that...
You better breathe. I'm letting you know right now. Hey, kill.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Hey, kill. Hey, 47. That's good. Cowboys. First down. Hey, Mike's 50. Mike's 50. First and 10 at the 42-yard line. Mike's 50.
Prescott on first down. Caught left side by Cobb. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Elliott. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. On 2nd and a yard. Prescott, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line. Get out there. 26.
First down, and it's Pollard again. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Shift. Check. Go to 54. Line in. Check. Switch it. Hey. Reset. Check. Fresno.
On 2nd down now. It's Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Cowboys have once again taken the lead. And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for 2. Now Prescott. And he'll get into the end zone to push the lead up to a field goal. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, and that's really good strategy because that's all you care about.